because it's closed.
And it's not even duck hunting season, Dave.
Not even duck hunting, and I'm sitting here really hating it, because if we'd had weather like this at the duck season, a lot of people like me would have been very, very happy.
I can imagine that. Okay, so I do understand today and tomorrow for sure, and you'll cross Monday's bridge when you get to it. Is that right?
We'll take a look at it sometime tomorrow afternoon and decide about Monday, Adrian. That's going to depend on what happens to the roads between now and Monday morning.
You speak only for Redstone Arsenal civilian employees and not for contractors. Is that correct?
That's true. The contractors make their own decisions, for example, Fireco and others, but generally the arsenal is closed.
Dave, thank you for that information. I'm sure thousands and thousands of people needed to know that so that they can make plans accordingly. Try and stay warm.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you.
And Adrian, I'd like to find out for you what we expect for the rest of the weekend.
We'll take a look at that in just a minute.
We're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Children getting a running start on their education on the next dialogue.
Good morning again, everyone. Adrian's going to take a look at our forecast in just a minute. But first, we've got Pat Goodall on the telephone with the American Red Cross. Pat, what can you tell us as far as shelters being set up across the area?
Well, we have a shelter open in Madison County at the First Baptist Church on Governor's Drive. And anyone who has power outages or is cold or needs a place to go, we urge people to come to the First Baptist Church. If they need transportation, they can contact the local emergency management agency, and there have been some provisions made to transport people that have no other means to get there. In addition, the Red Cross is mobilized across the state of Alabama, and in North Alabama, I'm aware of 3 shelters that are currently open. One is at the National Guard Armory in Limestone County in Athens, Alabama. One is at the Old Recreation Center in Scottsboro, and one is at the Broadway Baptist Church in Rainsville, Alabama. And people across the state, if they need assistance with sheltering, should contact their local American Red Cross.
Pat, are you getting many requests for assistance as a result of this, or is this just a normal procedure that you follow so that those who do need assistance can have it readily available?
Well, it's a little bit of both, Adrian. We are getting requests for shelter here in Madison County, and understand that there are people that are trying to make their way to the shelters. I believe there are people already currently being sheltered in other areas of the state. So I would just encourage people, if they need shelter, to contact their local American Red Cross, and we'll try to get that information to all of you so that you can help us get that information out.
Thank you very much. And of course, all of you people, volunteers as well as staff at the American Red Cross, don't know what we'd do without you.
Well, thank you. Our volunteers have been on standby and have been in here since about 4 o'clock this morning, so they're out there ready to help.
Well, I think we've got a coffee pot around here. I need one of your volunteers to fill this cup. Lisa, Pat, thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay.
And Adrian, while we're talking about emergency management help and emergency, well, as I said, help, let me give the Lincoln County, Tennessee Emergency Management Agency number. We haven't talked about Lincoln County, Tennessee
much, anyway.
Very lately. But that number is 615-433-1367. Again, Lincoln County, Tennessee Emergency Management, 615-433-1367. And we have reports that all roads are closed in Lincoln County, Tennessee, to all but the emergency traffic. And power is on throughout the county. That's good news. No shelters there are open yet, but certainly if they need to be, I'm sure that they will be available.
There's a lot of commuting back and forth between North Alabama and South Central Tennessee, and definitely that's information you need to know if you plan to go there or come this way from there. And here's the latest from Nashville concerning Tennessee. Winter storm warning and wind advisory is in effect for Middle Tennessee and the Cumberland Plateau for all of today. Weather radar in Nashville showing widespread snow, especially in the eastern 2/3 of Middle Tennessee along the Cumberland Plateau, as well as south central Kentucky from Bowling Green over to Lake Cumberland. The area of snow moving to the east at around 5 miles an hour. The county sheriff's office reported all roads are slippery and hazardous for travel. Now, this is around the Nashville area. So if they've been closed in your respective county, please honor that. Just check the teletype machine. One other thing about snowfall in Tennessee. We had an earlier report of 13 inches on the ground in Nashville, or rather Chattanooga. I just had a look at the Smoky Mountain report. There's 17 inches of snow on Mount LeConte up in the Smoky Mountains, and more yet to come. They could have as much as 3 feet there before it's all said and done.
Well, there are people vacationing up there. They'll probably be stuck up there for a little while.
That's for sure.
Maybe so. Now, we're wondering about the temperatures now and what we can expect as far as snow melting.
Okay, it's been a while since we have had a chance to catch you up to date on what the weather forecast is. As you know what the conditions are. Just look outside and you can tell. But let's take a look at our big map. And this is the one that we're going by through at least noontime today or until it is revised by the National Weather Service. And that is that there is a heavy snow warning for the morning hours and a high wind advisory, not only for today, but for tonight for all of Alabama, south central Tennessee, all of the state of Georgia, with the exception of way down around Valdosta and in that vicinity. And heavy thunderstorms are definitely affecting even that area. Snow, by the way, is being reported as far south as Pensacola, Florida, where 1 inch has been reported on the ground in some parts of that area. As of 7:30 this morning, down in it was snowing in Panama City, for example. So anybody that's headed down that way for spring break, forget it, folks. Some bridges and overpasses in the Florida Panhandle also have become slippery and are closed to traffic as a result of the snow that has fallen there so far. Now, tonight is going to be an even worse situation, not only for them, but for us as well as them, and everybody within the sound of my voice anyway. We're looking right now at Doppler Plus radar, and this is, of course, centered at the Huntsville International Airport. Widespread, mostly light snow, has tapered off for the most part over to the east, or rather west in the shoals, and it's all moving now to the east at around 30 miles an hour. The latest we had from Birmingham for the National Weather Service office, and they have access to data from all over the region, and that is that there is tapering off of the snow, and that's good news. However, heavy winds will be blowing around what snow is still on the ground, so you'll think it might still be snowing. There's also some fog included in all of that. We are looking on the thermometer right now at about 24 degrees at the present time, but a wind chill of minus 13 below zero. And these conditions will continue and even worsen later on today as well as for tonight. What do we have coming up right now? Let's check. Yeah, there it is. That high wind advisory, wind chill advisory, dangerous wind chills out there, folks. Wind chill means what your skin feels with the temperature, what it is, and the wind as strong as it is. And this is going to get down to life-threatening conditions, especially during the nighttime hours, because the forecast for tonight calls for the windy conditions to continue, and although the snow will be ending, 5 degrees, and that is bitter cold. You sure couldn't call that sweet cold, could you? Northwest winds 10 to 15 miles an hour for tonight, and as far as the rest of the 5-day period is concerned, a bit of a warm-up coming our way for tomorrow. A bit of a warm-up. That may allow some of this snow to melt, although there will be some sunshine, and thermal energy is by far the most effective when it comes to erasing ice and snow, especially from roadways, driveways, etc. So we'll have to wait and see how much sunshine we get. And if we do indeed go to 40 degrees tomorrow, there's a good likelihood that most of our roadways will be clear for Monday morning, and maybe we can resume normal activities. 52 on Monday with plenty of sunshine definitely will bring things more back to normal. But that 64 on Tuesday will make it feel like spring. By the way, spring officially begins a week from today, about 9 o'clock in the morning. So a week from about right now is when spring, that's hard to believe, is when it finally will arrive. So that's what we're looking at, folks. Improved conditions for us here in the Tennessee Valley and north central Alabama, as well as south central Tennessee. I was just reading this note too. Postal Service will not run today because state roads are closed, and that's a legitimate reason, folks.
It's too cold to go to the mailbox anyway.
If they say don't go because the roads are closed, then the Postal Service honors that.
And Adrian, you know, we've had crews out throughout the night and early morning shooting some of the snow scenes across the area, all across the Tennessee Valley.
True.
All the way from the shoals up to the Tennessee line over into Jackson County.
Here is your opportunity, folks. I don't know that we need to say a cotton-picking thing with this video. It gives you an idea. And some of these roads, Lisa, take note, have been graded already, and then the snow has been just blown right back over it because of the high winds.
You know, Adrian, those tires go, we're both drinking our coffee at the same time.
Hey, let's take a break.
As the wheels go across that
There's
snow,
the road grader.
it's just going to be packing it. And with temperatures no higher than we expect today, it's just going to refreeze right back. That slush will be ice.
Another reason that you shouldn't be on the road, you're going to have to make some turns someplace to go from one street onto another. And where those road graders have been, they put up a big bank of snow about 1.5 feet high, and you've got to burst through that thing, just pop through it, in order to get onto an adjoining street. And that's difficult to do unless you have chains or maybe even a four-wheel drive. Hello, fella.
Even exercise. Snow doesn't stop some people.
Oh, boy.
Is that Clayton?
You just got to do it.
She got caught in too much of a wind drift. A snow drift, she'd be gone. Be up to her neck.
Yeah, I had to put my car up on bricks this morning to put the chains on a truck, that is. And when I walked around to get my 2 loose bricks that I keep over there, I stepped off in what I thought was, about maybe 4 or 5 inches. Went all the way to my knee.
Well, we both have coffee now.
Yeah.
So we've got our fuel that we need. I went to get mine and I got it out of your pot, so I felt guilty and filled yours up too.
Here's an interesting point. Now, if you don't want to take heed of the road closings because of safety concerns, listen to this. Insurance won't pay if your cars are damaged on closed roads. Fact.
And Adrian, snow hath no mercy, not even on a bride and groom-to-be. There was a wedding planned for 2:30 this afternoon. As I understand,
Don't tell me they're going to call that
We've
off.
got the fiancé, the groom-to-be, Bobby, on the line. Good morning, Bobby.
Hello?
I think we had Bobby.
I'm here.
Oh,
Bobby.
okay. You're not going to call this off, are you?
Everything's looking disastrous right now. I don't know. We're gonna have to figure out something. I don't really know what to do at this point.
Well, now.
I guess my Denise, the girl I'm marrying, her dad has come to get her to take her to the church. He has a 4-wheel drive, but I'm up here at Ryan Village, and I tried to drive on a little bit ago, and it didn't look too promising.
But do you have a 4-wheel drive? Maybe someone would volunteer to come pick you up, get you to the church on time.
No, we do not have a 4-wheel drive. It might have to work out where Denise's dad might have to come get us or whatever. I really don't know. Things are just disastrous at this point.
Well, now, Bobby, listen, does he care enough about you to come and get you?
If it's make his daughter happy, he'll be here in a heartbeat.
Oh, okay. Right. Hey, that's nice to know. Just a thought that crossed my mind there. Maybe he wants this thing to be barricaded for some reason.
No, his daughter will be awfully miserable. He does not want this thing to be...
Well, I'm glad she would be miserable without you, and I'm sure you would be miserable without her. Good luck as your efforts continue to get to the church.
Thank you very much.
You got about 5 hours.
On time.
Yeah, and hopefully, it may just be you and Denise there. Maybe you can get a preacher there and carry on with the ceremonies.
Well, now, if Daddy's going to be there, get at least one more witness. You got to have 2,
That's true.
I think. Good luck, Bobby.
Thank you.
All right. That's cute. That is cute.
Adrian, we've just had this call in from Huntsville Hospital, and they are pleading for help. We've got some nurses, doctors that need to get to the Huntsville Hospital and can't get there because they don't have 4-wheel drive. They're snowed in. So if you would be able to transport nurses, doctors, just workers in general to Huntsville Hospital, you can call 533-2848. Again, 533-2848. And we were contacted by Ed McCracken from the Huntsville Hospital. Very important that they get those workers there.
Okay. By the way, for people who may be stranded in downtown Huntsville, we just had word, too, that the Hilton does have some rooms, $49. And there's a restaurant in the building, so if you're stranded and you need a place to stay and something to eat, they have some accommodations for you there. Also, a note here, there's no mail delivery in Hartselle today. I guess that would be a blanket order for all of North Alabama if they don't go where the roads are closed. Now, another entity that always is on standby and has to be able to move, even in a situation like this, is the fire departments of the area.
Definitely.
And we understand that Mike Sublet with the Huntsville Fire Department is joining us right now. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Adrian. How you doing?
All right. Any problems, any fires that you've had to respond to as a result of all of this?
They've made several runs to just some power lines being down. We've had about 3 structure fires, nothing major to any of those, and just a few entrapments in wrecks.
Mike, when the forecast calls for snow and conditions like we're seeing today, you guys at the fire department go ahead and put chains on your vehicles anyway, do you not?
That's correct. At the first sign that we see that the streets are going to be slick, we'll go ahead and put the chains on all of our vehicles.
Okay, we are looking tonight, Mike, and I know that fire prevention is one of your responsibilities there at the fire department. We're looking at 5 degrees, which will be the coldest weather we have had this entire cold weather season. Any special warnings, advice, cautions?
Okay, you're breaking up, but let me go ahead. I think you're asking about some extra precaution that we should take. Some of the main things that we do have problems at this time with the real bad weather is, of course, we've stressed the point already, is that we have kerosene heaters being used a lot more often. We advise everyone to take extra precaution when using these. You need to make sure that you're using the proper kerosene. Don't use a container that's already previously been used to fill some other flammable liquids in it, because just a minute amount of gasoline that was left in the container can cause you an explosion or a serious fire as a result of that being there. Also, when you refill those heaters, you need to carry them outside and have a cool down period before you relight the heater itself. Fireplaces, another big problem. When you remove the ashes from the fireplace, a lot of people will take and place them in either a cardboard box or a garbage bag, thinking that there's no heat left there because they have been out all night long. If you're going to empty those ashes, make sure you do it into a metal container, preferably with a lid on it. Then when you remove them, you should make sure that you don't take them and place them out in the garage or somewhere that they could get close to some combustible materials, because these ashes can reheat after several hours have gone by.
Mike, I know that people who have either kerosene heaters or fireplaces, they've started to identify themselves with what you were saying there. I hope that your words of caution are heeded.
Okay, well, let me make one other point, Adrian, while we're here.
Okay.
So if you're going to take extra precaution to warm your pets up, if you place them in the garage or somewhere else in the home, make sure if you're using a heat lamp or something that's not close to any combustible materials also. And then as the weather starts to warm back, if you had pipes to freeze up, if you're going to use some kind of propane torch or something to help thaw these pipes out, which we don't recommend that, but just take some extra precaution.
You guys have a safe weekend. All right.
Well, Adrian, Channel 31's Kim Albright is on the scene. He's going to join us live with this report. Good morning,
Hey,
Kim.
Snowman.
Good morning.
Hi.
It's cold out here.
Don't tell me, I know.
Taking a look at the situation in the northeastern part of Madison County out in the Moores Mill area, it's a lot like it is over the rest of Alabama today. The roads are completely iced over. We have a lot of snow, blowing snow, almost a whiteout condition at times because of the extremely gusty winds that we have. Adrian, I've been in the Tennessee Valley covering news for about 20 years, and this is about the worst conditions that I have ever seen in this area. So if you don't have to be out, if it's not an emergency, stay at home. All roads in Madison County and, in fact, North Alabama are closed. We've been saying that a lot. But I talked with some law enforcement folks a few minutes ago. They asked me to again reiterate that because they're having a lot of problems with folks being on the roadways. It is causing quite a bit of problems. And another problem that we're having with the blowing snow. As you can see behind me, we have some very deep snow drifts. Let me get around here where I can maneuver the camera. You can see that a car is almost completely covered up by some of the snow drifts. And also at one point we have over here by this house, you can see that snow is up to the bottom of the windows, almost over the top of the air conditioning unit. So that'll give you an idea of how deep some of these drifts are. And again, as I said, with the strong gusty winds, we are having problems with blowing snow and almost a whiteout condition at times. So if you don't have to be on the street, stay at home if it's not an absolute emergency. And even if it is an emergency, try to summons help from the Red Cross or someone else that is prepared to meet these emergencies before you try to take matters into your own hands and actually make conditions worse. Reporting on the scene, Kim Albright, 31 Eyewitness News.
Thank you
Thanks,
ever
Kim.
so
We'll
much.
be joining back with you a little later. I can remember deeper snows, definitely
remember
deeper
deeper
snows, but not
snows.
snow drifts.
Every winter storm has its own characteristics. We have also had ice storms, which have been much more devastating as far as power outages and paralyzing of traffic and whatnot than we have here. But because of the snow and because it is all snow, power outages have been held to a minimum. At the same time, though, I don't recall one where there has been this much, I mentioned more paralyzing of traffic. No. This is the worst I can remember in 25 years.
And those snow drifts, don't remember them that high.
No. Nor do I remember winds this strong.
That's true. That's what's causing it. Those strong
in a
winds.
storm of this
That car
nature.
Kim Albright showed us isn't going anywhere anytime
That's for
soon.
sure.
Well, Adrian, we have some more closings to report. Anna Clayton joins us live from the newsroom with the latest. Anna?
Yeah, Lisa, we have quite a few more to report. And Adrian, I certainly, in my 28 years, don't remember anything quite like that. But I'm surprised in all of your years that you've not seen anything.
Now, wait a minute.
I'm sorry, I had to get one age
I said
joke in this morning.
Huntsville. I said in Huntsville, girl.
All right, man, okay.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah. I remember 18-inch snow
getting
over in
ornery.
Fort Payne back in 57, I think it was.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The day I was born.
I guess you
remember
were
that.
already about, what, 40 then? Okay. I have quite a few closings to report. All right, also some openings in case you do need to get out and really have some necessities, such as drugs. I've just found out that Thomas Drugs, that is on Whitesburg and Airport, the intersection there, the little shopping center, will be open until 9 p.m. for prescriptions or emergencies. Now, that means don't get out and go buy hairspray and toothpaste, but if you do have an emergency, they will be there to fill your prescriptions for you. Now, for tomorrow morning, Whitesburg Baptist Church, no services tomorrow. It's a very large congregation. Whitesburg Baptist Church, stay at home and meditate. You'll at least be safe that way. The Civic Center, all events that were scheduled for today are now canceled. That is the Van Brown Civic Center, all events canceled for today. However, for tomorrow, the Reba McEntire concert, something that people all over the valley and even farther have been waiting for quite some time, that is still on for tomorrow. I know people are holding their breaths on that, but the Reba McEntire concert still being held, at this point anyway, still planned to be held at the Civic Center tomorrow. If that changes, definitely we'll let you know just as soon as we get word. Kroger's, if you were not among the thousands and thousands of people who went out and bought groceries yesterday, if you do have something that you need as an emergency and you have a four-wheel drive vehicle or call a cab, whatever, to get to a grocery store, Kroger's, all of them, all locations are open today. A closing, all roads in Moore County, Tennessee are closed except 2 four-wheel drive vehicles. Still no word on evening flights at this point for the Huntsville International Airport. Now, out of Florence, Laura's Dance Studio, all classes for today and tomorrow are canceled. In Big Cove, here in Madison County, in the Big Cove community, New Salem Baptist Church, the Brotherhood Supper that was scheduled for tonight has now been canceled. However, the minister that called me did not mention services for tomorrow morning. So at this point, we don't know about that church, but we do know the Brotherhood Supper, New Salem Baptist Church in Big Cove tonight, that is canceled. North Alabama Habitat for Humanity, the open house that was scheduled for today has now been postponed until next Saturday. That is Habitat for Humanity, the open house, postponed until next Saturday. Hope people can still make that. That's a wonderful organization. All right, let's see what I've left out. All right, at this point, that is it. I'll go over those again in just a moment if you'd like for me to. We have something in all of this and all of the seriousness, the serious nature of everything that we've been reporting. Here's a little something that might lighten your thoughts. We have a recipe for snow cream, okay? And you should have no problem gathering the ingredients, at least the snow, for this recipe. 1 quart of snow, 1 cup of confectioner's sugar, 1 cup of either evaporated or Eagle brand condensed milk. You stir it well, stick it in the freezer for half an hour. Voila, you got snow cream. You want me to go over the closings again? Lisa, Adrian, do you think we covered all that for now? I'm getting more.
We'll check back with you in just a few minutes.
Okay.
Are you going to make that snow cream for us?
Now, would you eat it?
Well, I was just going to say.
Where you get your snow.
That's true. And there's some concern about whether it's safe or not. Now, I've heard people crushing ice in the blender and using it that way.
Yeah, that's true, too. It can be made that way. But this business of snow is hazardous ain't no worse than rainwater, folks.
Well, I wouldn't drink rainwater.
I wouldn't drink rainwater either, so I guess really that's an individual choice.
Where do you think water comes from?
I don't know. It seems safer, though.
Yeah,
if it's not rainwater.
Seems. That's the operative word there.
Well, I don't know. If you say it's safe, Adrian,
Get
Okay.
get the whitest you can find.
Yeah. Okay. And a lot of it is very pure, really. It's probably the whitest I've seen. I'll be back then with some more closings in just a few minutes because we are getting reports just continuously.
Okay, we'll be checking back with you.
We'll be hearing some of those reports on the air in just a few moments, too.
Okay. And again, I don't know if Anna mentioned this or not, but I had this report. 5 Points Hardee's is open and is offering free coffee to law enforcement because I know they're having a very busy, very long morning. So
Some people also may be in a big panic said, I didn't take those forecasts serious and I don't have anything to eat. Kroger stores are all open today.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break and we'll be back with our continuous snow coverage in just a few minutes.
Okay, be right back.
Superstorm 93, that's what everyone's calling it. Much of North Alabama is at a standstill because of blizzard-like snow that moved in yesterday and last night and again this morning. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Linda Allen.
And I'm Tim Hall. Alabama is under a state of emergency today, Linda. We have major problems all across the Tennessee Valley. Let's go ahead and take a look at our current conditions, just kind of give you an update on where we are. We right now have temperature readings across the Tennessee Valley, very cold temperatures, 26 in Huntsville, 30 in the Shoals, where they had a little bit of melting snow today because of sunshine, but still very windy conditions. I want to remind you that we are still under a high wind advisory and a wind chill advisory, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that coming up in just a moment. But very dangerous conditions still persist in the valley.
Sure is. Well, Tim, obviously with wind chill factors this low, you can't stay outside in these conditions very long without hypothermia striking. Police in Muscle Shoals are blaming high winds and freezing temperatures for the death of an elderly Florence man. His body was found covered in snow at the Handy Homes housing project. Police say 69-year-old Earl Garrett's neighbors noticed him lying in front of his apartment this morning about 9. Deputy Coroner Robert Goodwin says it looks like a case of hypothermia. An autopsy will be performed to rule out the possibility of foul play. Meanwhile, a motorist discovered a female lying on the side of Chisholm Road in that area. When police and firemen arrived, the unidentified woman was unconscious, suffering from hypothermia. Police wrapped her in blankets and rushed her to ECM Hospital in the Shoals. The woman reportedly refused treatment and left on foot wearing a wet jogging suit and a coat. As you can see, hypothermia can be deadly. To avoid it, make sure you're bundled up in several layers of clothing. It should be loose, not tight, to help circulation. If you or your children are out for long periods of time, have them come in and take a break about every 10 minutes. And it's also important to drink a lot of fluids to prevent dehydration. The Associated Press is reporting that more than 300,000 people in Alabama are out without power because of the storm. There are a number of people in our area without service as well. If you know anyone who needs help, whether it's a power outage or some other need, there are numbers of agencies that are standing by to help. In Madison County, the helpline number is 539-1000. You can call that number if you know people who need assistance, or if you have donations, you can call that number for more information. And for general information from the Huntsville Police Department concerning roads or other information, you can call 532-72110, or 10, excuse me. Please make sure not to call 911 unless it's an absolute emergency. If someone you know needs to be transported to the Red Cross shelter at the First Baptist Church on Governor's Drive, you can call the Emergency Management Agency at 532-7290. In Morgan County, the Emergency Management Agency's phones are being manned. That number there, as you see on your screen, 351-4625. There are a lot of record closings in our area. The Huntsville International Airport remains closed, probably will not reopen until at least tomorrow morning. Passengers are stranded at the airport. The Sheraton Hotel is completely full. Hotels in the area say they're also booked to capacity. Once again, looks like severe winter weather in our area. Tim is with us. Let's take another quick look at what we can expect tonight.
Okay, more cold temperatures, a lot of wind. People have been very concerned about the wind. We'll show you our 5-day. This indicates what we're concerned about tonight. Near 5 degrees for a low tonight. A lot of freezing. What has melted today and what they put salt and cinders down on today, it's going to melt. The roads are still very hazardous. 5 degrees tonight for a low. It is going to be bitter cold. We have a wind chill advisory, a high wind warning advisory, and this will continue till at least midnight. As far as the high winds, the cold temperatures are going to last for another day or so.
Okay, well, Tim, you know, we've been receiving a lot of information about closings. We're not going to take a look at those at this time. We were going to go ahead and go to ABC programming, hear what's happening with weather around the world and around the states. As you've seen, it's been a lot of problems. We will join you at 5:30 with a complete look at weather, closings, and the latest information coming up on Eyewitness News Weekend. We'll see you coming up in about 30 minutes.
See you then.